Culture in social sciences. The culture is a group of characteristics and traits that people share within an geographic location. These traits can relate to religion, cuisine, language, music, and behaviors. The cultural inheritance means any patterns of behavior is influenced by cultural inheritance customs, habits, and views of the world that are practiced by their predecessors. Social learning is the basis of culture. The term culture means different things to different people. We can be sure that at least within anthropology, they all agree in one thing. Culture is seen as something we all acquire from each other. The visual representation we shows how culture can diversify over time, and the cultures we know nowadays are the result of the transformation, evolution, and transmission.
Every culture has these elements of society. How they are carried out of their role in a given community may vary, but we all are very familiar with these ways of life. Language. A language associated with a national culture, regional culture, or ethnic group, unique vocabulary can also emerge in any culture. Festivals. Festivals are a way to become part of a region's community. Religious, seasonal, somber, or silly, formal or casual, festivals mark an occasion that has some type of meaning for the people who honor it. Festivals are a window into the shared traditions and history. Food is one of the most tangible cultural manifestations. Food. Food is one of the most tangible cultural manifestations. If the main ingredient in culture is identity, who doesn't consider their favorite dish to be an integral part of who they are and where they come from? Values. Values such as a moral principle of right and wrong adopted by a group. For example, principles of sportsmanship associated with a sport. Fashion. Traditional or contemporary clothing associated with a culture such as the fashion trends attached to a music scene. Spiritual practice. How we access something larger than ourselves as a collective creates a culture. For example, in Mexico, the traditional dishes are pozole, tacos, tamales, and the people in Mexico are more Catholic than in other cities of the world. And for example, the festivals that we have are one Day of the Dead, and also Christmas. There are festival traditionals that we celebrate with a lot of food, a lot of colors, and with the whole family.
Okay, in my case, I want to talk about example of cultural manifestation. The meaning of cultural manifestation is there are elements of society that every culture has. Okay, I going to talk about language is the first. Language is associated with a national culture, regional culture, or ethnic group. In the case of festival, is a mark an occasion that has some type of meaning for the people who own it. The third is food, and in this case, is about dishes, ingredients, and culinary traditions. The other cultural manifestation example is values. Values such as a normal principle or right and wrong adopted by a group. For example, principles of sportsmanship associated with a sport. That's so easy. In the case of fashion, fashion is a traditional or contemporary clothing associated with a culture such as the fashion trends attached to a music sense. And finally is spiritual practice. In this case, is who we access something larger than ourselves as a collective creates a culture. And the finally is the conclusion. In my case, I think that we learn cultures because you didn't know when you want to know a person who are to other religion, and that's all.
Knowing about different cultures is of great importance in an increasingly globalized and diverse world. Here are some key reasons why knowing and understanding different cultures is critical. Number one, promoting respect and empathy. By knowing and understanding different cultures, we can develop a greater sense of empathy and respect for people with backgrounds and beliefs different from our own. This fosters tolerance and reduces prejudice and discrimination. The second, international business. In a world where companies operate internationally, knowledge of cultural difference can make the difference between success and failure in business. Understanding the business practices, etiquette, and consumer preference of different cultures can help building strong relationships and close successful deals. Personal enrichment. Learning about different cultures can be exciting and personally enriching. Diversity in education. In a diverse educational environment, knowledge about different cultures enriches the learning experience. Educators can incorporate varied cultural perspectives into their teaching, which enhance understanding and respect among students. Tourism and travel. When traveling, learning about the customs and cultural norms of a place can make the experience more authentic and rewarding. It also helps to avoid offending local people and contribute positively to the communities we visit. The cultural preservation. As the world becomes more homogeneous in some respect due to globalization, it is crucial to preserve and value cultural diversity. Learning about different cultures contributes to the preservation of unique traditions, languages, and customs. In short, knowing and appreciating different cultures is fundamental to building a more inclusive, respectful, and cooperative world.